It is important to point out that regardless of the social system, whether fascist, socialist, capitalist, or communist, the underlying mechanism is still money, labor, and competition. Communist China is no less capitalistic than the United States. The only difference is the degree by which the state intervenes in enterprise. The reality is that monetaryism, so to speak, is the true mechanism that guides the interests of all the countries on the planet. The most aggressive and hence dominant variation of this monetaryism is the free enterprise system.
Islam is not just a religion, it is a way of life and ideology at the same level as capitalism and communism. The Islamic viewpoint to things is different to capitalist and communism. What it says in Islam is that the human problem is not the infinite needs of human beings and the limited resources. That's not the human economic problem. Because human beings don't actually have infinite needs. Human beings need food, clothing, shelter, and of course access to healthcare, education. Simple. And also to be able to provide to support a family, a wife, if they are a guy, and so on. These are the fundamental rights of and needs of human beings to survive, to procreate, and live their life at an acceptable level of living for their essential being and well-being. They don't need more than this to survive. The capitalist system made a mistake. It assumed that because a human being desired something, be it a fast car, a private jet, a big 19 or 21-inch color screen TV, that this is a need. That's not a need. But in Islamic ideology, what it says is that all human beings are guaranteed their basic human needs. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, in another narration, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, so there are very many of different hadiths which talk about the same things. These narrations indicate to the Muslim, when we look at Islam, that the Islamic solution is that we create a system and society which guarantees basic human needs. And when it comes to the other things, such as fast cars, big screen TVs, massive gardens and big luxurious houses and so on and so forth, these are considered to be luxuries in Islam. And luxuries are separate from needs, which are basic human requirements. So under an Islamic system, Islam would provide everybody with access to food, clothing, shelter, healthcare, and education, and the means to start their own family. These are the basic things that Islam will address and give to people, and guaranteed. You've heard the saying, money is the root of all evil. But this is only in the capitalist system, because in the capitalist system it's greed and self-centeredness which causes people to get money, and they will use it and spend it on their greed and self-centeredness. It's not money, money is not really evil, it's just an object. It's really the greed and self-centeredness that actually is the real evil, which is inherent in capitalism. Because basically you're meant to acquire wealth to satisfy your needs being your needs and your luxuries, and therefore your main priority is yourself and no one else. Whereas in Islam, everything for us is directed at the pleasure of God. So for an Islamic system, money is a root of good, because we acquire money to use it for good purposes, to help other people. To sum it up, it's like in a capitalist system, imagine the people sitting around a table and there's a loaf of bread. And everyone tries to grab at the loaf of bread, taking as much chunks as possible. But the Islamic system is whereby people acquire a loaf of bread to give to each other.
Privatization of state-owned enterprises. This means that socially important systems can be purchased and regulated by foreign corporations for profit. For example, in 1999, the World Bank insisted that the Bolivian government sell the public water system of its third largest city to a subsidy of the U.S. corporation Bechtel. As soon as this occurred, water bills for the already impoverished local residents skyrocketed. It wasn't until after a full-blown revolt by the people that the Bechtel contract was nullified.
Likewise, Islam prohibits monopolies, and it prohibits the privatization of public resources. What do I mean? If there is a resource such as oil or lakes of water and so on and so forth, it prohibits any one company or individual from possessing it. In fact, what actually happens is that these resources are guarded, and the benefits that these resources give are distributed amongst all the people. They actually belong to all the people. They are public property. Not national property as belonging to the government, but public property. The government has no say on spending these resources on itself or its palaces and so on and so forth. These resources must be spent on the people. So it can be used to improve schools, highways, build dams, build hydroelectric dams and other power centers, nuclear power and so on and so forth. And all these materials are used for the public good. Therefore, public property is public property and stays for public benefit. Unlike in capitalism, where you have public property being privatized, and then companies and corporations come in and charge exorbitant prices to the average Joe like me and you, and we have to pay. And then naturally monopolies arise.
To put it into a word, it is the mechanism of scarcity that increases profits.
What is scarcity? Based on keeping products valuable. Slowing up production on oil raises the price. Maintaining scarcity of diamonds keeps the price high. They burn diamonds at the Kimberley diamond mines and made a carbon that keeps the price up.
So then, what does it mean for society when scarcity, either produced naturally or through manipulation, is a beneficial condition for industry? It means that sustainability and abundance will never ever occur in a profit system, for it simply goes against the very nature of the structure. Therefore, it is impossible to have a world without war or poverty.
Amid the confusion, the chaos and the pain, a man emerged and Muhammad was his name, and walking with nothing but Allah as his aid, and the mark of a prophet between his shoulder blades. In a cave in Mount Hira the revelation came. Read, O Muhammad, read.
This solution is unlike any other that any other ideology like capitalism or communism can provide. And this clearly shows how Islam is a comprehensive way of life that can provide solutions for everything. Not only is the basis of Islam rational, but the very system it provides is intellectually and practically superior to any other system and solution to date. Why is it that 1,400 years ago, a shepherd could provide a system, a way of life, which is far superior to the best that the cream of the Western intellectuals have today? Be it
the Prophet of truth, Muhammad. And he guided mankind into all truth. All your problems, bring them, bring them, bring them.
He praised by Allah Al-Ghaffar, the bearer of glad tidings, Al-Bashir, leading unto light As-Siraj Al-Munir. Muhammad, peace be upon his soul, the greatest of
Religion creates nothing except intangible emotional solace for those who require it.